What's going on YouTube? In light of September coming around and back to school starting for a lot of not only students of elementary school, secondary school, whatever you guys go by, this is also for a lot of people that haven't started martial arts but are looking to get into the program. And so for a lot of us on the other end, being an academy owner, September is usually a big time for us. So when we are talking about looking for a martial arts academy, there are a few things that will stand out and will really help you choose which school is the right fit for you or your child. Okay, so the things that we're going to go through might be able to apply to you. Some of it might be specific, but we'll cover kind of the general basis. So, number one, the absolute most important thing that you should be looking for is the character and the personality of the instructor. Not the school, not the type of martial arts they teach, but the instructor themselves. And the reason being is because the instructor is the one who's going to be teaching the lessons to you or your child, right? And literally, there are so many different teaching styles, so many different personalities out there that if you were to compare the numbers between personality and types of martial arts, there would probably, you can count them on your hand, okay? So it's not that this martial art is better than this martial art. I mean, if you're looking for something a little more specific, then obviously that's going to help you choose what school you're going to end up at. But every martial arts has something good to offer. And you have to remember that, especially for younger students, it's not necessarily the art, but the life skills that come along with martial arts in general. So you want to make sure that that instructor is a positive person. You have to make sure that that specific style of their teaching fits what you are looking for. It fits your needs, fits your child's needs, right? You want to make sure that lesson, like I said, is being able to be transferred from their head, their body, to the student, because that essentially is what you're paying for. So number two on our list is the convenience and the amenities that come with the academy or the location that you're choosing. So what I mean by that, obviously number one is the cleanliness of the facility. Is it well maintained? Is it presentable? And not that, you know, some schools that aren't so presentable, bad schools, but you know, not only our product as teachers, as business owners, speaks a lot for us, but also what we provide with that, right? So cleanliness is a huge thing because you want to have good hygiene when you train. You want to make sure that it's a safe place for you and your child to be training in. You want to make sure you're not going to get any infections, those type of things. Another thing is the scheduling. Is the schedule flexible? How are their classes created? Is it all open classes? Is it age split? Is it level split? Is there a structure behind their schedule? No matter how good the person can be, if it's inconvenient to you, ultimately that's not a good idea, right? Another thing you want to look for is the professionalism in the staff that is there. So it's not only the instructor, it's not only the owner, it's the front desk, it's everyone around. Because at the end of the day, you have to remember that although we are teaching you martial arts and we're teaching you life skills, it still also is a service. And so you as a customer should be treated as a customer. You should be treated like what you are worth. And for us to be a professional, it's also the courtesies, the ability to service you, it's the ability to show that we back up our product, we back up our academy, everything that it stands for. You are getting the be-all and end-all of it. There's no shortcuts, there's no cutting corners, you're not gonna get, you know, half of what is eligible. Every single student, every single member should be treated at the highest peak, no matter when or what time of day it is, right? Doesn't matter if I'm having a bad day, doesn't matter if business isn't doing too well. The professionalism will speak so much when it comes to you walking in that front door, to you going through the facility, taking a class, and walking all the way out. One more thing you want to look at is the student to instructor ratio. And what that means is, in a class of 20, how many instructors are there, okay? And depending on the style, this might change, okay? But the main thing that you want to look for is that there are no students left clueless. So a lot of times you'll see in a lot of schools, there'll be a class packed, let's say 30, 40 students, complete mats are covered. And usually what happens is they split you up in rows. First row is closest to the instructors. First row, second row, amazing. Spectacular students. Great technique, super focused. They're the ones who are kind of pulling the weight for the rest of the class. And then you go down 3, 4, and row 5, and they're absolutely lost. They have no idea what's going on. There's not enough instructors to bring the message and relay it all the way to the back, making sure everyone's on the same page. So essentially, you're wasting your time. right? So one of the most important things is having a good student to instructor ratio, okay? So that they understand that there is quite a bit of students to be serviced and everyone deserves that equal treatment, okay? Like I said, this is also dependent on the type of martial arts you teach. Some martial arts don't require that many students because of the way it is taught, but for the general consensus of all academies, there should be enough instructors to be able to provide a fair and equal service amongst everybody. So number 3 on our list is the ownership. And me as an academy owner, I resonate a lot with this. And it's very important to understand a couple things when it comes to choosing the academy based off of ownership. And so one of the things is, if I have a big name in the martial arts world, it could be, you know, I'm a very decorated fighter, I have tons of championships, whatever it might be, that should not be the reason why you choose my school. And that's why we put instructorship at the top of the list, because me being this decorated fighter, doesn't matter, you know, how many trophies I have, how many championships I have, because that means I'm a good fighter, it means I'm a good martial artist, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a good business owner, that I have good business practices. Ultimately, it could also mean that I'm not a good instructor, right? So who cares what I do? Who cares about my name? Who cares about what martial arts I do? The most important part is you're coming to the academy with needs. You have a set of goals you want to achieve. And my job is to provide the solution. So wherever I pull that from, whatever I do, I need to be able to solve that and not be like, well, you know who I am, right? And because I am who I am, you should join here. You're not gonna get anything done. So don't go by the name. Make sure you meet the owner. Usually the owners are the head instructors 90% of the time in martial arts academies. And so they'll do quite a bit of teaching. Being an owner is very important. It's tough to say for everyone as a whole, but for most owners, the successful schools, the schools that are going to back you up and give you what you're looking for, are full-time martial artists. And what I mean by that is some martial arts schools are part-time, right? So they have a 9 to 5 and then they do their evening work in martial arts 5 till 9, whatever the case might be. But the thing is that they're preoccupied with something else. When the business has needs, when there's things to pay attention to, there's not enough time, nor is there enough energy that can be spent in both the 9 to 5 and the 5 to 9. And so a lot of the times, a lot of shortcuts will be taken. And because you put in part-time hours, you'll end up with part-time results. And with that, if you have part-time efforts, right, that means that it's more of a hobby. And you don't really care to see the business strive. You don't really care to deliver that customer service that you would want, because it's not your main thing. If you do this full-time, then you'll be looking to strive for excellence. And every little small detail, right, you're gonna be looking to be able to deliver the best of the best, because this is you, this is what you do. And now, when you take that into another perspective, we're talking about a full-time effort, striving with excellence, versus a part-time hobby, right? We also look at the type of martial artist that you are. Because if you are a full-time martial artist, or if you do, the things that you say your academy will provide, martial arts is also that life skill. And so if this is what I do, the skills that I've obtained and that I've achieved from martial arts will eventually seep into my daily activities, which ultimately seeps into my business. So if I achieve excellence in martial arts and I vouch for that, then I should be able to apply that in the business world as an owner. All right, and so the last thing on our list, number 4, are the fees and the memberships. And there's a reason why we put this last, because this can be kind of a gray area, and we don't really want to get too into it and too political with it. But anyways, when you are looking for that academy, you want to make sure that you understand the price and kind of what the industry standard is. And this can vary between certain figures depending where you are and what your kind of audience is around you. Now, when you understand that kind of general figure and you base it on this current school, you're going to see, are they educated in what they do, and do they know how much their time is worth, or what is their value? Okay. Also, when you do that, it's the old saying, you get what you pay for. If you know the industry standard and a school is charging half of that, they're either really, really, really successful and they're doing it, non-profit, which is hardly ever the case when it comes to martial arts schools, unfortunately. I mean, if martial arts teachers can get paid off of hopes and dreams, we'd be rich. But that's not the case. Now, when it comes to half off, then you're going to get half the effort. And that kind of goes back to number 3 when it comes to full-time versus part-time efforts. You're going to get the part-time results or the full-time results. So that'll kind of give you a cue if the school is serious about providing you with that service that you're looking for. Another thing is you want to understand that in that price that you get, you also want to understand what is included in that. Are there hidden fees that they're not telling you up front? Promotion fees like gradings, uniform fees, any sort of extra equipment that are required to be in the class to participate. You want to make sure that you understand that, so you can kind of get more sense of the value in what you're paying. Usually you pay a certain number month to month. Sometimes you pay it in whole. I don't know what kind of structure the school that you might be at does, but that's generally the case. You want to know what that entire figure pertains to. And the last part too, the fees and memberships is their free trials. And I know a lot of schools, not just in Canada, but in North America itself, they do a lot of paid trials, and they're very successful with that, and they're very successful schools. They're legitimate, they're authentic, they provide everything. So I'm not here to say that if you do a paid trial, then your school's automatically a bust. But especially here at Union Martial Arts, one of my things is I have 100% confidence in my product. And because I have that confidence, I'm not afraid to give you a free trial. I got nothing to lose and everything to gain. I want you as a client, right? But I want you to see that I am backing up everything that I'm saying that I can provide for you. All those needs you have, all the solutions I have, let me prove to you that I'm not lying, that I'm not just faking it. Come in, see exactly what I'm talking about, so that you can see that where I'm coming from, I'm credible in my product, not in my name, not in my status. Okay, so free trials I think are super beneficial. Never be afraid to do a free trial at that school, because that is going to give you the best kind of feel for what you're about to get into. All right, so that was our top 4 list on looking for that martial arts academy. You've been so dying to join. Make sure you do your due diligence so that you get the training and the service that you deserve. If you guys like this video, if you kind of like the Union talk and the way it's going, make sure you comment below and please let us know. We appreciate the feedback. We read all the comments and we want to be able to give you guys the best content. If you haven't already, make sure you check our Union techniques as well. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. We appreciate the support. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure you turn on that notification bell so that you never miss an upcoming video. And until next time, catch you guys then.